You ready?
Yeah. Oh my god.
So elaborate. I'm gonna do it exactly on time. Gotta wait for the minute to change. Inception. Weird. You can have it so you just click in left and right to walk. Alrighty. Let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
The wood on the desk looks fancier. I don't remember wooden trim. Should I leave the office? Nah,
Never.
just chill.
Break the rules.
Huh. I wonder if it's hard to find the new endings. We're just gonna be stuck doing all the ones we've already done. I can just walk through the chair. Dope.
I am the chair. The chair is me. Satisfying.
I hate Mondays. Should I leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
Can I
he
get out
couldn't
the
find a
window again?
trace of his co-workers.
Should I?
Can you
You? Have you not? Do you not remember this ending?
remember?
Okay, let's go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Yes.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Yes.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Oh.
What should I pick?
Never.
No? Okay.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
What do I do? Can I pick these again?
Yes. Mad.
No, I'm just stuck here forever. GG. Oh, I touched something. I think I might have to hit escape and restart. I don't remember if there's actually a way to get out of this. Begin again? I think I have to. You want me to pick the other option?
Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Don't remember. They're like
At first,
they-
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he
There's a
heard this
thing where you
narration
turn
and
off all
realized
the
it was
computers.
part of the game's design all along.
No, there's a thing where
He
you have
then
to
praised the
press
game for its insightful and
the
witty commentary
computers in a
into the
certain
nature
order.
of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
And it
So,
opens the
now that
door.
you're here, what do you think?
Yeah.
Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
There's also one
Why
where you
don't we
just
take a minute
get an
just to drink
achievement
it
for
all
touching
in?
the same door handle like 50
Okay,
times.
I'm over it now. What do you think?
Yeah.
Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Again.
I think it might just repeat the same riff over and over. Oh, I got an achievement called You Can't Jump.
Maybe because I watched Frozen too many times, the first one, but there was a song in Frozen this melody makes me think of.
Which one?
Reindeers are better than people.
Okay, that's enough.
God damn it.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
Same.
What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Can I crawl under
No.
desk?
This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I don't know if this is the right door. is the ones you have to activate. Oh. There we go.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Yeah, give me achievement.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it.
I'll
Yes,
click this so many
almost
times.
certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Why is that one blank?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Oh.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Me?
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did
Achievement.
it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Oh, 80 then.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which way, Jakey?
Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. really worth it.
Yep, it's beautiful.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
I feel like all the voice
Stanley
lines
sat
would be
around waiting for more
cut
dialogue.
off split
But when a
second
long
in.
time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh,
Ow.
hello, Tessa. I'm playing Stanley
Let me turn
Parable.
I'm gonna turn off the fan.
I need Tessa's avatar. Oh, thanks for the raid, Brunch. Thank you very much. Welcome in, Raiders.
Hello again.
Hello. BM streaming Stanley Parable. If you want to watch Tessa.
Gotta go through some of my stuff real quick though.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
What do you think, Jakey? Oh, thanks for the follow. Hint of line.
Go to the right.
Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Should I fall to my death?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Or I could go that way or that way. You want the falling one?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley
going
leapt from
good.
the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh, now we got this one where it's just straight to the room. No offices.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What do you think? No.
Don't listen.
Okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
It's terrible.
Stanley
I've
knew
got
it
like
perfectly
every,
well.
all the paths.
Perhaps he
that
wanted to
already
stop
exist
by the
memorized.
employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley
way?
took the first open door on his left.
Straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5
Which
years
way?
ago.
Right.
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Yeah, I can barely hear you over
Let me
the game.
prove it.
Tessa.
Let me prove that I'm on your
Narrator
side.
talking.
Give me a chance.
Mumbling. I'm crazy. I'm crazy mumbling.
You should join the stream. You can watch.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, he said blue. He said blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
I heard blue. I heard
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Mining and crafting.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
What do you think? Jakey? Jakey, you dead? Right?
Rip Jakey.
Oh, of course. A
Press F from
3.
the chat.
Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings?
Had to
Does
go
that
get
sound
blood
good?
work done
Think we
today.
can do that? Yes?
Fucking
Wonderful.
vampires, they stole my blood.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
They weren't testing for drugs, so that's all I care about.
Don't forget you on stream. Just test.
I didn't say what kind, Sleepy.
Uh-huh.
Was being vague about it. I wanted to try and eat my sandwich. I've been wanting to eat my sandwich all day.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Nice.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby
no.
crawls left
Best
towards
game.
danger. You click
You
the
ready to
button
spend
to move
several
him
hours
back to
doing
the
this?
right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly
joining the stream,
confronting the demands of family life.
We saving
I
a baby
think
from
the art
falling into a
world
fire.
will really take notice.
Oh,
But
boy.
of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Great game. 10 out of 10.
Let them die.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
Never
It's
seen this
over.
game, Brunch? It's
Thank
amazing.
you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, the game came out like in 2013, but they just released like a expanded version of the game. More endings. Oh, we doing Firewatch?
Ah,
Test to look at Firewatch.
What do you think this game is about,
I'm looking.
Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
It was Minecraft last time I played.
But it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
No.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh my god.
Minecraft door, excuse me. Rip. My favorite name. Love this game.
Oh, no.
I need to test. I sent
No,
you a
no,
trailer
no,
for a game
can't
that
be.
looks like Firewatch.
Hmm? Now go look at it.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any...
Is there a gap? Gap?
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Okay. Good night lunch or brunch. Oh, now we're doing Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Go get.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, I'm going fast. Woo!
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it... Hold on. What are you doing?
Rip. Bye, Stanley.
Stanley, don't do that.
We
I
in the
can't
back
follow you
rooms.
there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You
It
know
looks like
that.
we're-
Stanley.
Now we in the back rooms.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
That's nice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Where we going, Jakey? Jakey?
Left.
Left? Okay. Time for the broom closet ending?
Yes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Take out passive-aggressive coworkers. That's a good plan. Solid plan. Yep. Everything's okay. Love it.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say less air. Oh boy.
Uh-huh. Great slides. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Rip.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Alright, I think that's it.
The broom closet ending.
Well,
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
up or down?
Up.
Okay. Panda with a gun to its head. Business strategy. Uh-huh.
That's a bad business strategy.
I don't know if this elevator was in the original. Is this new stuff?
You having a good time, Jakey?
No, Jakey dead again.
What?
Tess asked you a question.
Are you having a good time?
I've got my beta. Ooh.
Oh yeah, Tess, I sent you a thing explaining how you can get Overwatch 2 beta.
I gotta read it. I was running errands all day.
You just gotta link your battle.net to your Twitch and then watch a stream for 4 hours that has the drop thing. That's actually linked to one of the streams that has it. So just gotta go on your Twitch settings and link your battle.net. What?
Wanna do it again?
Does this elevator not go anywhere? I want that. Yeah, I want a room that just... I need a house that just has an elevator room that just plays music and vibrates. Does nothing else. Jesus Christ.
You would have been in there forever.
Yeah, this is ultimate troll right here. Does it really do nothing? It just gently vibrates and plays music. Make you think you're going somewhere.
We all fell for it. Probably something great happened.
Alrighty. See a pointless elevator.
That was great.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Do I do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Amazing.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Where we going?
I don't know.
Tessa.
What you want? What do you think, Jiggy?
You can pick Tessa. You've never played.
Mind control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Right. You've never seen this game, right, Tessa?
It was a Stanley Parable?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Oh. Well, this is actually the Ultra Deluxe version.
Oh,
The lights rose on an enormous room
It just
packed
came
with
out. They
television
added like a bunch of
screens.
new endings.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
you better, Stanley. I want to know the mysteries. I better get some kind of ending. I won't, but it's fine.
No matter where you go, you'll find an ending.
Oh yeah.
Now the monitors jumped to
The
life.
end is never the
Their
end,
true
is never
nature
the end.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
Which one's
The
Stanley's
lives of
office
so
again?
many
Is that it?
individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them,
It's number
eternally
420.
monitored in this place where freedom
It was near
meant
420.
nothing.
427. I think that's the one right there. Yep, and that's his office. Lovely.
Dude, Office 420 is lit.
This
Because that's how
mind
gaming
control
works.
facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
There's 420.
That his emotions had been manipulated to
Looks the
accept
same as
it
his
blindly?
Yep.
And
Really?
that's the only person that's fired. 104. Oh no, that one's fired too.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I mean, you don't have to. You can leave.
No, I got final choice. Turn the power off or turn the power on?
Turn it off.
Huh?
Turn it off.
Off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blackness. and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
But what if I don't, though?
Yeah, but what if you don't, though?
I don't think I have a choice here. Yeah, it's all just gated off behind me. Feels bad.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Is he happy?
So says the narrator. Got an achievement. Beat the game.
Nice.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to push all the computer buttons.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
They're out for cake.
New content? There's a fucking new content door? Okay. I guess this is the Ultra Deluxe section.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Can't go that way. Feels bad.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Watch, they added nothing.
This elevator better go somewhere.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally,
Jinx.
at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Wow.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Yes.
Oh my god, I can jump, but only in this circle. And I only get 35 jumps. That's some good new content. Let's use all our jumps.
Don't get up there! Don't get up there! Ah!
Shh.
Get down! Get down! No more jumps?
No more jumps. That's all my jumps.
Move! Get down!
Smokey jumping on stuff.
Is that it? Surely that's
He
not
loves
all
it,
the
right?
new content. There has to be something else, right?
That's it. GG. Great expansion.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see
We're
it.
jumping?
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Is it DMV simulator?
Thank you for
That's
enjoying
it?
the new
Oh,
content.
you've got to be kidding me.
10
You
out of
see,
10.
Stanley? This is what
Game of the year.
happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh. That's not right. I don't like it. I'm staying inside. Aw.
What you got in?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent!
Should I
I
be
want
sus?
to show you something!
I gotta be sus. Okay.
See the small ventricle. You ever hear of Among Us, Gregory? Ah! You just broke all of your legs. All of them. All four of them.
Uh-huh.
Ah! Get down!
I don't like it.
What?
It feels weird.
Get down.
Why?
One tank.
Get down!
Oh, you playing over? Dang it, Jakey! You gotta wait for us.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the
Jakey,
new
I'm
Ultra
not mad.
Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past
I'm mad at
and
my
how much
child,
better
though.
the Stanley
Get down.
Parable used to be.
Jeez.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Come here. Oh, you respond to come here, but you don't respond to get down. How
Satan's
it
up
is.
there.
Bring me Satan. I want to see Satan.
There's just a red ominous glow from up there. Ooh.
This is where Satan lives. This is the church.
Ooh, pretty.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's right at high school.
Our first case, my first car, the release of Stanley Parable in 2013. Beautiful.
Awesome. Zone, sweet zone.
This fucking Steam page.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's on there. It says zone, sweet zone.
Oh yeah, that's the best achievement. Don't play the game for 5 years.
That's the one Jonathan's trying to get. He's literally not. He's not touched it for 2 years. He's going 2 years strong. I was like, Jonathan. That's why he's disappointed, because he wants to see this so bad. I'm gonna spoil it for him. He didn't kill the spider the other day. I'm gonna spoil it for him.
Aw. Rip Stanley. That's sad. What is it, a hamster?
Yeah.
Feels bad.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
That's just Portal.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's Minecraft. Yeah. Stanley, Person of the Year. Do I go in there or go down here? Oh, I guess I can't go down there.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Right though, it didn't need it. Just saying.
The serious room? I want to go in the serious room.
Jump.
I can't jump. I'm not in the jump circle. I ran out of jumps.
Right. Can't use them anymore. You're not allowed. Game says no.
Can I parkour though? Nope. This game's just gonna sniff its own farts all the time. Just going on about how
These were
the first
simpler
one was
times,
perfect.
Stanley. But I wouldn't give
Yeah.
to go back, to have it all over again.
You gonna do it again?
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
bad memories.
Oh no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh yeah, let's see the terrible reviews.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, they're red because of the thumbs down. Okay. Maybe.
What? No, there's all kinds of different colors. Yeah. That's fine.
Thinking too hard. It's the worst.
Parkour.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy.
No,
Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me.
Fine.
Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel
Maybe I
like a
forgot
failure.
mask.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Don't cry. I feel bad. I didn't leave a review.
This is reminding me of freaking their other game. Have you seen the beginner's guide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, not to laugh. And when I did it, I did not know it was fake. And I cried. Okay? And then you come around and tell me it's fake. And I'm like, I cried at a fake game.
Well, it's probably loosely based on real events.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
No.
Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
No skip.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is. So on and so forth,
Should I
until
just listen to the whole
inevitably,
thing?
we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is. So on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet.
Okay,
No,
I think
no,
it's just
until 245. But the
Push
logic
button.
of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, manifesto.
Manifesto.
Treatise, manifesto.
Yeah.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
Okay, now we can skip.
manifesto. Treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment.
This is a good podcast.
You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow, now Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's... Well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
Yeah.
A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
Don't know where the door
Is
went.
there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Do I wait or do I press it?
Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
So, lovely day. We're waiting for the door. Still no door.
Well, I'm stuck with that purchase now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is my favorite. I want to wear that. Don't fit me. What?
And I'm waiting. It's like take a nap.
I'm back. How goes the waiting?
It's not coming.
Gotta give him time. It's fine. Let's see how my Overwatch is doing. 85%.
Ooh.
Ooh. You want me to push button?
Yeah.
Okay, let's push button.
I was changing my shirt.
Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer,
Now
but
we
they're
gotta try
really,
that
truly
again
getting
and
longer.
wait 12
and my
hours
God, there's
for
no
the game
way
on.
out of the room.
Yeah.
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen.
Time to mash the button.
I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything
Mash the
else,
button
I
till
don't
the
know
end
how
of
to
time.
stop you from pressing the button again. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
Oh, the plane's
I
dying.
think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me.
Oh my God. I'm gonna turn Tessa down.
Then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended. Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. there is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse
Oh
of
my
every
gosh, shut up,
moment.
narrator. Oh, he dead now. I killed him.
No.
He gone.
Uh-huh.
Bye. He gone.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. The fuck is that beeping? Fire alarm going off?
Bad. Probably bad.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of our... But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity.
I broke him again.
The end is never the end, is never the
Me
end,
too.
is never the end, 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 is never the
The fucking ceiling's dripping. Lovely.
Abandoned. It's just leaking. Jackie, I'm gonna send you a meme.
There's light. I still can't escape though. Oh, lovely. Beautiful. Lovely. Oh. What? Am I free? What? This is just desert wasteland? Mad Max time? Lovely.
You can't press the button again because it's broken.
I could probably press it again.
Go see.
Or I could try to wander in one direction. I am curious. There's like an edge. Is it just gonna stop me? Yeah, I'll go toward. Oh, GG. Oh, that's it. Feels bad. Who calling me?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work.
Yes.
Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Where are my boxes? Give me thousands of cardboard boxes. Do I go back into the new content?
It's the new content.
Oh, it is the new content. But I want to know if I get boxes. Where are the boxes?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Where's the sign?
You know, I'm gonna keep going on main path until Jakey shows back up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can I do... Does the elevator do anything?
Oh, still doesn't. upgrades that I made. You can look at it later.
It's fine, I can just alt tab. Okay, time to do a weird thing. Come back.
Stepping
God
into
damn.
his manager's office, Stanley was once again
a
stunned
special
to
thing if you
discover
can run
not
back
an
through the doors
indication of
before-
any human life. What could it
Before it
mean?
closes.
Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Nice.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in,
2319.
and the door just opened all by itself.
Damn it.
And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Oh. Oh no. It's not a secret. It feels bad. What? Does this work?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I don't think I've ever done that before. Is that Jakey ran? No, Jakey's still dead.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
What is the date today?
27.
What number month would it be?
4.
4. Oh, 4, 2, 7. Nope, nothing. Feels bad. I think they'd hide something in the shadows over here.
What do you think? Oh, I got a lucky cat today.
Lovely.
Like the big one.
Yeah.
But it's like a charm for the inside of the car, and I'm like, that's a good idea.
Nice.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Time to go back up again.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
I pushed the skip button until the area became a fucking desert wasteland, and then I walked off into the desert, and then restarted. And then I went up to the boss's office and got in the elevator, and then went down, and then back up, and then down, and then back, and I'm just doing that to piss him off.
Oh my god, it's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
This is funny. Greatest.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Also, I got a phone call at one of the desks outside Stanley's office that said there's an order for thousands of boxes, and I accepted. I don't know where they're gonna show up.
What boxes?
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Wow.
Damn.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We're gonna escape this time, right? Are you gonna go back up the elevator?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, he don't even comment on it. He's given up.
Yep.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley,
Yes.
It seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and
Now you're
different.
being funny.
It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Although, I could get back in the elevator. The guy who went to Mars. What do you think? Should I go up the stairs or go back in the elevator?
Elevator.
Okay. Oh, it's locked. Triggered.
He's like, not anymore.
World peace, baby? Uh-huh.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Stanley and his dad. Adorable. Get the little golf thing. The dude who came up with pizza. Fuck yeah. Oh, heavy breathing, Jakey.
Sorry.
Oh shit, I'm famous. There's floating audience members. Excuse me. Just the elevator button. Down and up, then down and up, then down and up again.
I'm glad you got this achievement. I got this achievement, so glad you got that ending. That's a great ending.
Yeah, I think that's new. That was never in the original. Or at least I never found it in the original. Beautiful.
All
Oh,
of
here's
his
my
co-workers
boxes.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Got all the boxes I ordered. Beautiful.
Nice.
They're freaking everywhere. But this is new. What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Why would there-
he entered the door
There's
on his
just an
left.
extra hallway. Where am I going? Jakey? Tessa?
Right.
Right? Okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Left or right?
Left.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Elevator.
Okay. There's no up button on this one, though, so I can go back and forth.
That's fine.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
It's spooky.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
Why is that one blue?
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No new content. Oh, now we in the back.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story. I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our step. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
What the fuck
I
was that?
can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Woo!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of
I
hard
got the
work,
drop.
and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I gotta go to drops inventory
Okay,
to get the thing.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, Stanley Parable
All right,
Adventure Line.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line.
Charlie.
How simple is that?
Me. Get the line joke. Yay.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
What's that
Wouldn't
direction?
wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
This is the best part of the game right here. Yeah. This plant though.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
People
Sir.
look. Oh, you missed something. Go back.
Uh-huh.
I saw a bug. Oh,
No, it's a feature, Jakey. It's a feature, not a bug.
it's a bug.
No.
Oh, yeah. Not.
Wait, what?
Bring
We're
back
back
the
at the
music.
office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after
much
everything
fire.
we've been through, you...
Yeah, so
Oh, I
this
can't
one.
take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh. Oh.
You know what,
This is something
Stanley?
different.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
So 1 sec, I'm gonna try to start downloading the Overman.
horrible habit, and I can't. I don't know how.
Hey.
So whenever I send certain things to Charlie, it just so happens that those certain things should not be sent around his mother, but I just so happen to every time I send them, his mother is around.
Again.
Every freaking time, and I do sometimes I'll do it by accident. The other day I did it by accident because I just put my phone in my pocket. You know, as it worked, just boop, put it in my pocket. Sometimes my phone stay open. I don't pay attention.
Where do I install Overwatch 2, Jakey?
Battle.net.
Okay, I'm in battle.net. Where do I...
You know how you know how they used to do the PTR?
Yeah,
Click that.
there's nothing there.
Did you close it? It has
What?
close BNet.
Oh yeah, I have to
Start.
restart BNet. I forgot.
It took like 5 minutes, to get it in there because so many people are using it.
Uh-huh. I still don't see it. Maybe I have a thing in the settings so that I don't see the other versions. Yeah, I don't see nothing. Do I just
Give
gotta
it a
wait?
minute then. Yeah. Get over there.
Alrighty then. Back to the game.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
See what?
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Down the hallway. Please.
Oh, no, not
Ship
you
it.
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't look at it, Sleepy. Don't look at it.
Oh yeah.
A
alternate
choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Yes.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Me too.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content?
New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Get the presentation again. Oh, skip the whole presentation. Feels bad. It reminds me of the fucking... The Five Nights at Freddy.
You see, Stanley,
Thing,
I've been
the VR
reflecting
one.
on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh! It's got red now.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
It's the adventure line. Beautiful. Taste the sequel.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh, yep.
New mug. Time to wake up. Oh, I can't read that mug. Trigger. Oh.
Amazon.
No jumps remaining.
Right. Well, you did it. You get the no jump sword.
Where's
There he is. He's hiding.
the color red? Yep. That's all they got in the sequel. Just the color red. I love it. Don't talk to me before I've had my sequel. Bless you. This is my second cup. Yeah, everything's two everywhere. Uh-huh. They're back. 2 doors. All the possible things. Title screens. Beautiful. Twice many ferns. Oh, 2 Stanleys. Let's do co-op. Co-op
Now, to be
Stanley
clear,
Parable.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Chat. Yeah. Can we get 2 chat?
Uh-huh. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2. Yep. Aladdin 2. Sequels are good. Okay. Wait, the prequel. Is it a prequel or sequel? Is it a prequel or sequel? I can't decide.
One, 2 was okay.
What?
Not good. Half-Life 2 was okay. Not good. Because we didn't get Half-Life 3.
Technically, you didn't get Half-Life 2. You got Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and then the other
Well,
episodes.
it was the Half-Life 2 and then the episode 1 and 2.
Oh. Well, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So technically you got 4 Half-Life games, right? 5 if you count Half-Life Alyx, right?
Has VR. That's it.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new
Beautiful.
features.
Reassurance bucket. Oh, gotta get merch first. I saw the new content.
I would wear that.
I want the end is never the end again.
Give me the line shirt. Give me the
This
line
t-shirt is
shirt.
the best new feature. That's a good shirt. Oh, is that 2 adventure lines? What? Is that the new Stanley?
Big Stan.
I don't like it.
Big Stanley. Go say hi to Stanley. The bucket.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. I want that. Hear your name in the game. It's just like Fallout 4. Where the robot will say your name as long as it's one of the
For the
names it
Stanley
accepts.
Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Is it just gonna get the name from my computer? Let's see.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yep, I have
If so,
become Jim.
then please step forward and press the button.
Let's say another name.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush.
It says my
That was
name.
you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the gym button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Damn. Best new feature.
Hello, my name is Jim. Nice to meet you.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
What is this? Do I go in there? Where should I go?
The bucket.
The bucket? Where's the bucket? Is the bucket over there? No screenshots. Wait. Infinite hole? No reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much
there's no
consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I can just carry the bucket. I just get to keep it. Let's go.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Okay, where are we going now?
Go see Stanley.
The big weird one? I don't like it.
He big.
Oh, we got a map. Oh, there's a jump circle. This map, free achievement. Where's the free achievement? Give me
Behind you.
over there.
There.
Oh, yeah, right
See?
there. What are these? Why? Why? Fucking B squared.
Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. 2. There's a 2 on the ground.
Of course, because it's Stanley Parable 2. Oh, it has eyes and thumbs up.
There's a 2.
Beautiful. Alrighty then. Let's get our free achievement. circle. It's still got no jumps left. Feels bad.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Feels bad.
That's sad now. Not even gonna give you one jump.
Pull lever, get free achievement. Okay.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Feels bad.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That's pretty ominous. Don't you want the Stanley though?
I go come alive.
Shh. Would you buy this?
Grab it. Grab it.
Stanley. Oh. Beautiful. 1 of 6. Okay then.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The hole.
The hole. It won't end.
Do a flip.
What's over here though?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
Happy 12th birthday.
But I love
Birthday.
how vague this is. Not get well soon, just get well someday. Wait, and it's happy birthday step niece.
Yes.
You want the step niece one?
I'm gonna take you
Oh,
on that one.
okay, I'm outvoted.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you
Oh.
knew which one you actually really wanted all
You
along.
did the opposite.
Get Well Someday it is.
Oh.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
And what?
What if that book?
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Well, Jakey, we chose wrong. It's okay.
It's okay.
Feels bad. Feels bad, man.
Not to the hole. Throw the bucket into the hole.
No. I love my
Either
reassurance
you-
bucket.
If you go in the hole, if the bucket goes in the hole, you go in the hole with the bucket.
I downloaded the beginner's guide.
Oh, you gonna cry again?
Have you played it? Ooh,
Stanley,
Not sure.
here's an idea that I'm truly
I know
fond
I've
of.
watched
It's
people
never
play.
been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's
So
right.
portal.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end
Portal's
of
got
time,
infinite
if you
falling.
like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
oh, that's creepy.
You know, you like heights, Jakey? And
No.
darkness?
Mm-mm.
Well, then you'll love the infinite hole.
You wanna-
Cause it's fine. Heights are fine as long as there's never a bottom for you to hit. What's there to be afraid of?
It's true, but then you're falling forever, and then what's the meaning of life? Because you'll just be falling forever, and then
Yeah.
that is your life, and then you will die falling.
No, you won't die. Cause you're Stanley. Stanley's immortal. And there's no ground to hit, so
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite
It's fine.
hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
why would I teleport? I love the infinite hole.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum
Oh,
of things.
it's actually getting small in the entrance. Why are you worried, narrator? Is there a bottom?
Okay, Stanley.
Is there a
I
bottom
don't know
you're not
quite how
telling
to
me
say
about?
this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll
No.
just be up here when you're ready.
It's not good enough. It's not infinite. It's not at all infinite. Come on, narrator, fight me. Oh shit, it's right. Every pause button is a Roman numeral too. So
I
deep.
mean, shit.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. We could make it if we tried.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Alright, you want to set a bunch of cigarette butts? Yep, lovely.
Smoke.
Great.
Fuck it.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the
Follow
sequel.
my hole again.
Yep.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Woo!
The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean,
Can tell 'cause the entrance
admittedly,
hole's
I didn't
bigger.
make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come
Okay.
join me up above.
You can get it so short.
Uh-huh.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
You're falling backwards.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay.
Yeah, it gets smaller every time.
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my life. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Nope.
Still
broken.
nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the
Goodbye.
hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Yeah.
Noises.
Narrator? Oh. Hello?
Oh, we going down. We going down.
I'm gonna go all the way to the middle.
Magical.
Jakey, did you like the image of the crab that I sent you yesterday?
Yeah. Helicopter, helicopter.
Got the bucket?
Yeah, I got the bucket. That's Stanley. He doesn't blink.
This is so exciting.
Change your perception.
Oh wait, you gotta go to the elevator music. Hate that one.
What the fuck?
Welcome to hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of
What?
mine.
Puppy.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
what the fuck? I'm upside down. Yeah.
Stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
What the fuck?
Canonically standing just upside down now. That's fine.
My head's stronger. You're no
Stanley?
I have Rick
Stanley!
using up
Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
No, put me back.
But we can't
Put
have
me
that,
back in the
Stanley.
hole.
Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert,
Yay.
Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Toodle pip. Toodle pip. Go sleep.
We're gonna go back down again. You gonna start saying Toodle Pip now? Oh, no. I want to be in the hole. I want to go back to the hole.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. What else is there? The baby is all grown up now. And bankruptcy is the fire. Lovely. Red is the new orange. Should I go back to the hole or go to the epilogue?
Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Uh-huh. Did I go over there? Is there nothing over there?
The door.
Huh? What?
The door is closed.
Okay. What was even over there?
I don't remember.
Do I gotta go in settings? Get in there? Love how there's a jump button, but you can literally only use it in the circles. And only 35 times, and that's it.
Hey, never in my life have I actually seen a crab swimming. No thanks. Jakey, why do you tell me they were terrified?
Crabs are beautiful creatures.
Oh, here's the
Simple.
exit.
It flying at me in the water. Whoosh, 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 in the water.
I kinda wanna go in the hole again before I go to the exit. I gotta find all the different backgrounds and versions of Stanley.
If it'll even let you.
Bastard. Closed the door on me.
He go, you in there? He said, nah, no more.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
It's got the hole. When the
Who am I
jump
kidding,
circle's at the
Stanley?
hole.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable, and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it... I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh.
I'm not.
Here we go. Are you ready to play Stanley Parable 2?
It's a scary game.
No, it's fine. It's just red. Red is the new orange. Got all the same settings. Should I just quit here? Come back next time? Well, let's see if I can get the Overwatch 2 working. No, still nothing.
Do nothing.
Did you?
Huh?
Did you claim it when you got pressed the drop box, and it just said claim?
Yeah, click the claim button. Can you see the PTR thing in the little thing? Cause all I see is Overwatch. Weird. And I did just restart again.
Yeah, that's why everyone's trying to do it.
Yeah, there's like a maintenance thing going on.
Oh yeah, that's.
Okay, let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a
There's
company in
orange
a
there,
big
right?
building
Got the balloons.
where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Ooh.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh.
Now you broke.
Oh yeah, Stanley Heaven. Oh, push all the buttons. Get out of this. The red. I can just do it again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Where?
Why was he not doing it?
Where's the bucket? A bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I love it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where are we going?
Left.
Left? Okay.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Broom closet with the bucket.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Oh.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley. I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than... And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? that your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There.
Property stand.
Now it's settled.
Love
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Anger really goes.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
I want a bucket sticker.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment, and to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies, easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm going to the bathroom. Be right back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Disappointed. There's no more broom closet stuff.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Love they just redid all the dialogue but mentioned the bucket every time. Should I go up or down? Oh, collectible.
You found one of them. one of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Lovely. Money crisp. Elevator. It's gonna do nothing again. Oh my god, it whispers Stanley. I was wondering what it said. It's the narrator coming along and saying Stanley. Great elevator ride. Okay, time to see if I can do the hardcore thing.
Stepping
God
into
damn
his
it,
manager's
so close.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Confirm. No, it confirmed Markiplier got more than one, relative that's a furry.
Oh.
Now.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, they're collectible. Beautiful.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Should I keep riding the elevator?
That one again.
But this time with the bucket. Or which way? What do you think?
What do you think, Chicky?
Elevator or...
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Not escape?
Escape.
Yappy.
Okay. Tessa hasn't seen escape, I don't think.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Should I read it? You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit, or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That's a lot of buckets. 25 buckets. That's more than 25 buckets. Photograph 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. Photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets.
I'm sure.
Inferno bucket. Uh-huh. Billions died. No one can control a bucket. Uh-huh. A bucket with two handles. Lovely. Uh-huh. Ancient caveman bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, it's time for another endless hole. Oh, or not. Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take his place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
Alrighty then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
But what if I jump out the window with the bucket?
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley,
Rip.
you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Uh-huh. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Uh-huh. Do I take the bucket?
Yes.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
But it's evil.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where are we going? Should I just make all the choices?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go left again. How we can find them? We can't find them. Uh-huh. Interesting. So those are the 3 locations we haven't gotten them yet. Stairs, somewhere both red and blue, and large room with lots of boxes. Alrighty then. Near a fireplace. A smelly place for an important person, yeah. Inside sequel exhibit, uh-huh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Well, fuck it, let's go down. Into hell. Woo!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket! Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley! Find me! He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Bring a bucket. Always bring a bucket. Bring a bucket.
What time is it? Hey, I'm gonna take a break, make some food. GG. Need someone to raid. Who am I raiding?
Let me see if I have any.
Oh, someone playing Overwatch beta? Yeah, let's raid them. They don't got many viewers.
Everyone will be my enemy. Oh, oh, the misery.